Hmm. Much better. Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Monday, and I hope you guys are having a good day. So, as you guys just saw, in between episodes, I added in some variation here through the use of vines, lichen, some mossy blocks, and I added in some better lighting with these lanterns on top of fence posts and some hidden torches under these moss carpets. And I used a little bit of azalea leaves as well, and I think it looks a whole lot nicer. So y'all, today, the first thing I want to do is I want to get some enchanted gear because guys, right now, this this ain't cutting it. So, let me make a list of things to do. Things to do. Step 1. So first, I'm going to need some leather. But guys, I don't want to kill any cows just to steal their treated flesh. So, instead, I'm going to pay piglins to do it. So, first up, caving for gold. Step 2. Trade with piglins for leather. Step 3. Make enchanting table. Setup. Step 4. Make XP source. Step 5. Be a professional. So that is our plan for the day. So, step 1, let's go find a cave. Hey y'all, in this mining minute, I wanted to chat a bit about my base and series plans. So as you know, I'm planning on having a pretty modular base layout and looking to make it a village. So my vision for this is after I do the interior for the large log cabin, I do want to work on making a bridge from the forest into the plains and create a mineshaft entrance right where my starter cave is that will lead down into branch mines where I can put a mine for resources. Then I'll go back into the forest and build a couple log cabins that probably in the future will be used for storage and small farms, but I haven't really thought of any farms that I need yet, and I don't have a need for storage currently, so for now they'll probably just be hollow. From there, I want to go into the swamp, build up some sort of a witch hut type build, and move my enchanting area in there, and maybe in the future put some sort of an auto potion brewing machine in it. After that, I want to move back into the plains, and in the lower part where I have my crops and trees right now, I want to flatten it and put in a large crop field with 1 or 2 water mills along the river, and maybe an apiary as well to collect honey and honeycombs. Beyond that, I don't really have as much of a distinct plan, but I do know that I want to put in a spot where people gather to collect water, and I also want to add in a winery on the far side of the plains, as well as an actual sort of downtown area up on top of the hill. My other big goal for the series is to maintain as lag friendly of a base as possible, which mostly just applies to any farms that I make. So what that looks like is my focus will be on reducing things that force the server to make a lot of calculations, rather than making the most efficient farm possible. That means I will try to keep the number of loaded entities low, so minimal minecarts, items, item frames, mobs, that sort of thing. I'll also be trying to use as little redstone dust and torches as possible, as they both cause a lot of lighting updates, and I'll be keeping the number of hoppers low, although I'm less concerned with hoppers given that placing a container block, like a chest, furnace, or other hopper above them, can reduce their lag by quite a bit. Of course, I'll be trying to explain things as I go, and I'll be showing you guys what optimizations I'm making to reduce lag, and that sort of thing. So at this point in the video, my audio got a little funky, so now I'm doing a voiceover. So we're heading over to a zombie spawner that I found at the surface a little ways from my base, and I'm going to go turn it into a drowned farm, since drowned now have a chance to drop copper, making copper a renewable resource. So to set up a zombie spawner, I first have to clear out the full space of the spawner. So mobs can spawn up to 4 blocks horizontally from a spawner and 2 blocks vertically, but they don't need a block under their feet in order to spawn from a spawner. So I'll also be digging down about 3 blocks to ensure that when the zombies are being moved, their heads won't get stuck on the spawner itself. However, mobs don't spawn exactly in the center of a block, which means that when they spawn, their hitbox can actually collide with the walls, which would stop the spawn attempt. So I actually have to clear out an area 5 blocks horizontally from the spawner. So here's a time lapse of me setting that all up. Okay, so y'all probably saw me putting walls and cobwebs up above the spawner and are wondering what that's all about. So in order to make this a drown farm, I of course have to drown the zombies. So walls have a hitbox of 1.5 blocks tall, which means when the zombies are sitting on top of a wall, their hitbox lies within 3 different blocks. So using this setup with the wall, cobweb, sign, and water, I can force the zombies to keep their heads in water while using cobwebs to slow them down, since zombies need to be submerged for 30 seconds in order to be converted. With the cobwebs included, that converts to about 6.2 blocks, so I rounded up to 7 just to be sure. But it probably would have been a better idea for me to go up to 8, just because if zombies start flooding the system, their collisions with each other can speed up their movement and cause some of the zombies to not drown. And the signs are just there to prevent the water from breaking the cobwebs. So after being converted, I put them through a 22 block drop, which leaves them at 1 hit point, since they have 20 hit points and damage is calculated by doing number of blocks fallen minus 3. And just an update here, I actually messed up my counting and had to lower the drop by 1 block in order to make it a 22 block drop. And after just a bit of testing, we actually got our first copper ingot, which is pretty exciting. Then, after clearing out a larger space, it's actually time to put in the enchanting table and bookshelves. And once that's done, I officially finish the enchanting table to-do list. So now I just have to enchant my gear and then I can move on to the next thing. And I'm back. So we're here at the zombie/drowned spawner. And I think something I forgot to mention earlier was the use of this. So this is called tinted glass. And the cool thing about it is that one, it doesn't let any light through. So I can actually see into the zombie spawner and I'm not going to compromise it by causing there to be a higher light level. The other cool thing is that I can break it and I won't actually lose the block. So with normal glass you would need silk touch, but with tinted glass I can just break it with my fist. So as you can see, this looks a little different from the last clip that you guys saw. So while I was grinding away my tools, I did do a little bit of work here. As you can see, I do have kind of a couple more like workbenches up here kind of thing. Down this way is where I have all the storage happening. So over here, this is where the rotten flesh goes, and I have set up some redstone to just automatically dispense it into fire to get rid of it because I don't need it. Here we have the copper, and here is just kind of everything else that flows in. And to do that, I used an item sorter. So back here, I have the smaller of the two classic Impulse SV designs. I'm not going to go into exactly how they work. I'll link his video in the description, so if you guys want to know how they work, you guys can just check that out. But basically, so this design, it's smaller than the other one, but does have some overflow issues. But because I'm getting rid of the rotten flesh all the time, and I'm always removing the copper, not to mention the copper has a low drop rate, I don't think I'm going to have issues with overflow. So that's why I felt fine going with this kind of smaller design. And last thing that I should mention, these furnaces. So I put furnaces on top of the hoppers because, like I mentioned in the voiceover, hoppers do cause a little bit of lag because they're always searching the world above them for items to pick up. But if you put a container block, like a furnace for example, on top of them, then instead of searching the world, it'll just search that container block, and that creates significantly less lag. So the gear that I enchanted, I'll just real quick show you what I got. So I had another crossbow that I enchanted to get quick charge 2. So now old Betsy here is going to just load up a little bit faster. On my axe, I got Fortune 2, Efficiency 3, and Unbreaking 3. It's not great. I would have preferred Silk Touch on the axe, but that's okay. I can get over it. On my pickaxe, I have Efficiency 4, Fortune 3, and Unbreaking 3, which is pretty cool. So now when I actually go and mine diamonds or iron, copper, redstone, lapis, all that kind of stuff, I'll actually get a lot more of each of those resources. Instead of just 1 per block, I could get up to like 4 or something per block. This sword here that I've been using has looting 3, sharpness 4, and sweeping edge. So again, you know, not the greatest sword, but the sweeping edge and sharpness and looting is actually, those are kind of the 3 most important here, especially since I'm only going to be using this in the drown farm. So it's going to be nice because I only have to swing once to kill everything, and the looting 3 means that I'll be getting higher rates of copper. On my iron hoe, I just have efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3. My golden helmet, I have aqua affinity, fire protection 4, and unbreaking 3. So the reason for that is the gold helmet I only wear in the nether, because you have to wear a piece of gold item in order to get piglins to not try to attack you. So I put fire protection on this one just because in the nether there's such a high chance that I'll run into lava, so I want to have that extra little room of protection in case I were to get, dumped on by lava or something. So on my iron helmet, I just have protection 3. I'm probably really never going to use the iron helmet, so it's not really that important. On the chest plate, I've got protection 3, unbreaking 3, thorns 1. So thorns, I don't really like the thorns enchantment, but again, I don't really often wear the chest plate, so I think it's fine. On my pants, I just have protection 4. Iron boots, all I have is soul speed 3, since these are ones that I got from trading with a piglin, but I'll probably enchant another pair sometime later and get some better enchantments. On my turtle shell, I have protection 3, unbreaking 3, aqua affinity, and respiration 3, which is going to be really nice because respiration 3, along with the 10 seconds of water breathing, means that I can really spend a long time underwater without drowning. And on my shovel, I just have efficiency 5, unbreaking 3, and silk touch, which is actually really nice because efficiency 5 means I can actually instant mine grass blocks. So that's pretty cool. And Silk Touch means that I'll also get the grass block back. But more importantly, Silk Touch means that if I mine any gravel, I'll get the gravel back instead of flint. Okay guys, so next up we are actually not going to work on this interior. Instead, we're actually going to go get some gifts ready for those 1.17 blocks for some of the other members of this server. So I think most of them already have some of this stuff already, but there's a couple that haven't yet gotten anything. So I believe there are 2 new members that I need to give gifts to, if I'm not mistaken. So they're each going to get one of those horses, of course not my own personal horse, but one of the other 2, along with a saddle. And in addition, I'm going to give each of them one of these barrels that contains, so a spyglass, 6 total lichen, 8 moss blocks, 32 glow berries, 16 glow ink sacks, 6 dripstone blocks, and 6 pointed dripstones so they can start farming it if they want, and 1 axolotl friend. And both barrels, as you see, are the same, so I'm going to give them that, the 2 horses, and a saddle with each horse. And I believe we're here at the first person, so I think that's their base over there. It seems like this is kind of maybe the whole spot that they've claimed. Wheat field here. I think there's some cows over there. And yeah, that seems like a storage room over this way, so I'm going to leave the present right around here, I think. This is probably the best place. It's the most central. And yeah, with that, here's the present. Here are some signs explaining what's going on. The horse, the saddle. I think it's time to head back. It does seem to be nighttime. And I actually don't know where the other person is located yet, so I will do that at a later date once I find out. And y'all probably noticed in the last couple clips that things look a little bit different. So what happened there is I actually changed my texture packs around a little bit. So before I was just using Optifine and Vanilla Tweaks, and I actually ended up changing some of the stuff that was in Vanilla Tweaks to be more to my liking, and I added in a sky texture pack called Dramatic Skies. Of course, links to all these things will be down in the description in case you guys want to try them out. But it just makes the skies look a little bit more realistic. You can see those clouds and the sun, the moon also. It looks a little bit better. Some better stars at night and everything too. So in case things are looking a little bit different to you, that's why. Also, just an update. We have a beehive, which means we can start collecting honey and honeycombs. Yay! Okay, enough distractions. Let's do some interior work. And here we are. So the first thing that I want to do is I've been looking at this house and thinking, what can I do to change it around? And I think I want to actually change the roof a bit. So I want to change these all to dark oak planks on the roof. I think it'll just look a little bit nicer. Right now it looks a little too kind of monotone. There's no contrast between the roof and the walls, and it's all just kind of the same color. So I want to add in a little bit of a darker wood color. I think that looks a lot nicer. Now for the interior. So I want to keep it kind of light, at least the floor I want to keep it kind of light. So I'm going to see, I think I might use birch planks for the floor. I think that works well. And maybe a spruce ceiling. So if I go 3.5 blocks tall for the ceiling maybe? Yeah, I think that's nice. So obviously these windows gonna have to go. And this one too. Okay, and we now have a floor and a ceiling. And for this fireplace, I think I'll just use stone bricks. Maybe if I do something like that. No, I think it's still missing something. Come on. Imagine a world where creepers actually dropped everything that they exploded. Wouldn't that be nice? Then I wouldn't have to spend all this time trying to recreate everything that they destroyed. Yep, even my bed. I mean, seriously. Imagine disliking someone so much that you take their bed away. Is there no respect in this world anymore? Okay, back to the interior. This is a little bit better. I think it's not quite right though. Yeah, that's much better. So I think I also want to put a little back porch on this area. Maybe a door leading out here. Maybe just something as simple as this would be good. Yeah, I think that's fine. Chances are I'm not really ever going to see this, so I don't think it's super important for it to look amazing. So I think I want to add like maybe a kitchen sort of thing along this wall. Maybe if I do something like this, so a little bit of like a counter space here. And like a sink. Or like a wash basin or something. Yeah, if I put that there, it kind of looks almost like a grill, I guess. No, that's a little too symmetrical for what I want. Maybe something like this? Yeah, I think that works. Maybe if I put my bed like here. I feel like it's good to have some sort of like, you know, bedside storage maybe. Potentially some nightstands. Yeah, looking better. And after quite a bit of faffing around, I am now done with the interior. So this is the attic. I'm just using this as storage right now. Yeah, as you can see, kind of not super well organized yet. A little bit organized. We're just not going to look in there because that's... Yeah, anyway. As you guys can see, I have a Totem of Undying in my offhand. And my stuff is no longer shimmering. And up in the top right, there's a Hero of the Village symbol. So, yeah guys, unfortunately what happened, I got attacked by a pillager patrol. And in order to deal with them, you actually have to burn the flag bearer, or else you'll get the bad omen effect. So, in the process of doing that, I actually accidentally burned myself to death, and somehow miraculously, every single piece of my equipment ended up in the fire and burned. So, we're back at square one pretty much. I lost the turtle shell, which is the most unfortunate bit of that all. And then, after respawning, I killed the flag bearer, but I didn't have my flint and steel anymore, so I got the bad omen effect. And in the process of trying to acquire milk to get rid of the bad omen effect, I actually started a raid. So then I had to fight off a raid, but silver linings are that because of the raid, I now have a Totem of Undying, so maybe this whole situation isn't going to happen again. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But, like I said, the house is finished. So up here, yeah, the attic, this is the storage room. So let me go give you guys the grand tour of the place. So I was going for kind of making this feel really cluttered and kind of lived in. So here we have, you know, obviously barrels. I used some beehives to look like cardboard boxes. And this here is a note block that I'm using to make it look like a sort of wicker basket. Of course, this is the bed area. I ended up flipping this barrel here so it's facing up. I just think it looked a little derpy when it was facing sideways into the bed. And yeah, a bookshelf. I used a loom here to make it look like an empty bookshelf. There's a little bit of a desk here, and of course the kitchen that you guys saw me build. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole place. So guys, I am going to grind out some new gear, get some new enchantments off camera in between episodes. But that is going to do it for this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. See ya!